Now I will read my story to you. It's called Killer Whale Eyes, written and illustrated by me. Way back in time, about 423 years to be more exact, in a village by the sea, a little girl was born with eyes like no other. Her eyes were unique and as blue as the ocean deep. And when her beloved Haida people looked into these deep blue eyes, a feeling of quiet wonder would come over them, like when you look out to sea on a warm summer day and know that the world is magic. The little girl belonged to the Killer Whale Crest House, one of the many crest houses and clans in the village, and she loved to play in the water. As a young girl, her favorite playtime activity was swimming with the sea otters. She liked to hold the tiny babies in her hands. She was so gentle and kind that the mama otters trusted her with their little ones. They too felt the quiet wonder when they looked into her eyes. During these alone times with her friends of the sea, she sang her song. It was a song that the people came to know and love, for it echoed the wondrous sounds of the ocean. Sigage udijan. As she grew into a young woman, her chana, which means grandpa, taught her how to carve. She showed amazing talent in this skill. And together, they worked on a very special canoe. When the canoe was finished, they prepared to celebrate. Everyone was so busy that they did not notice that their degwang, which means dear one, was not helping. She was down by the water's edge, gazing at the canoe. Gradually, a warm feeling began to build inside her chest. She closed her eyes and imagined herself far from land, paddling strong and fast. She opened her eyes, and to her great surprise, she wasn't just imagining it. The village was ready to celebrate. They called out to their degwang, "House Lawan degwang, hawit!" No answer. The canoe and girl were gone. Exhausted from searching that night, the villagers went into their warm, long houses to rest. Their thoughts and prayers were with their degwang who had disappeared on the sea. Chana would not leave the water's edge. Nana, which means grandma, tried to bring him in out of the cold, but he would not budge. He stared out to sea. So she wrapped him in a warm blanket and went inside. As the sun rose the next morning, Chana was still waiting. His eyes were tired and his body was chilled from the cool sea air. Suddenly he saw the canoe. It was floating in with the tide. How happy he was! But when the canoe reached the shore, Chana could only see her clothes and the paddle. She wasn't there. Time passed as it always does. About 4 seasons to be more exact, summer, winter, spring, and fall. Yet the hearts of the people still ached. The people of the Killer Whale Crest House decided to have a ceremony in honor of their degwang. Since her disappearance, the canoe had never been used, and the people knew this was not right. So the canoe was once again carried to shore and launched. The people plunged their paddles into the water and they were on their way. They paddled to the beat of Chana's drumming and sang their degwang special song. Sigagit udijang, sigagit udijang, di ho kyagangs hagudang. Sigagit udijan, sigagit udijan, si hanaga, si halanganai Just then, a pod of killer whales surfaced. They too sang a song, and it calmed the people. Slowly, the canoe drifted to a stop. The people and the whales had no fear of one another. They shared a peaceful love and respect. Chenal looked into the eyes of one of the whales and saw that it was crying. He told the whale, "Come closer, come closer." They looked into each other's eyes, and he understood that these were not tears of sadness, but of joy. In that moment, he realized that this whale had his granddaughter's beautiful eyes and spirit. It was their Daguang. Oh, how their hearts were full of love and amazement as Kunjadas, which means whale girl, greeted the people. How they had missed one another. For you see, she wasn't lost after all. She had just joined her loved ones of the sea. And even though she left her human life behind, Kunjadas knew she and the Haida people would one day reunite. Although they lived in different worlds, they would always be close to help, comfort, and love each other. After all, family is family. Together, the people and the whales felt the ever so quiet wonder that told them this world is truly magic.